Unleashing the power of DeFi, anonymity and freedom.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the DeFi panel. We'll give people 30 seconds to get in because it looks like we are running out of people. But we're going to have some interesting discussions today around decentralized finance, anonymity, freedom of finance, what that means. So quick introduction, Elias Ahonen, I write for Cointelegraph. I'm doing my PhD on cryptocurrency regulations and laws. So this is a very interesting discussion for myself as well. And we'll kick off with quick introductions. We're going to limit this panel to 25 minutes or 20 minutes, so we'll keep things to, short. But we'll go from here. We'll start with an introduction, name, what you do, and what your connection is to DeFi.
Awesome. Last panel of the day. Come on, let's get the energy rolling. We're all tired, right? I'm not up there, so you won't see my name, but my name is Soltani. I'm from Mintrust. I'm communications and strategy over there, and we're the new kid on the block in DeFi. We pride ourselves on one of the most secure platforms, most up-to-date. We just launched in private sale about 5.2 million in TVL in about 4 days. We'll get into a little bit about the fun stuff of DeFi, but mintrust.com, check us out.
Hi, I'm Francisco. I truly love this technology. I just dedicate my life. We do consulting, we design tokenomics, and basically we help also funds to be more capital efficient, basically, because in the way that you can move the money through DeFi, like providing liquidity and so, then we can really help this kind of entities.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Oleg. I'm sort of running a bunch of companies, but it's under Commune Group. We have 3 divisions: venture arm that we're running since early 2017. Have invested in about 50-something projects early stage. 14 of them have become unicorns, which is cool for us. Since mid-2019, we're running a DeFi division, which is called 𝐉𝐸𝐻 DAO. Since then, we're probably the most transparent DeFi asset management platform, with everything being on-chain, automated accounting. You can see like every transaction from day one on all the products. Never lost a single dollar despite all those hacks and all those things. So avoided all the turbulent waters. And the third division, which is 𝐒𝐿𝐬𝐬, is basically a soft market. So we are reselling illiquid assets like softs and equity deals on the platform using smart contracts like DAO frameworks and so on.
So as far as decentralized finance goes, what would you say are the biggest benefits or pros compared to the existing system, whether we compare it to the banks that we have now or just the centralized exchanges and the like?
I guess we'll kick it off. Look, I think the last panel, one of the panelists said it. I said it in the last panel I was on. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to call it a Chase token, Chase Bank token, or you want to talk about a CBDC, within the next decade, banks will be offering some type of solution in DeFi. You could call it CDeFi, you could call it straight DeFi. They're going to be able to take the market cap share away from the boomers. The boomers have their money locked into the banks. It's the only secure place they feel secure. Well, here comes DeFi. We just had a massive hack this weekend on Euler, right? Well, that's why we pride ourselves in trying to cover our ass on as much as we can and in the security audits, but even that's not enough. So if you call it regulation, if you call it, a more secure and innovative system, that's coming. And companies like ours are modeling ourselves kind of after the 𝐒𝐻𝐬𝐬s and compounds because they have never been hit. They have never been really attacked in the bad way that maybe Euler did. However, the banks are coming. They're going to offer some type of solution. In America, we had the certificate of deposit. It used to be up to 10%, right? Now the boomer generation is stuck with a 1 to 2% option, while the newer generations have DeFi in hundreds of percentage points, right? So I do think that market share is going to tip in the way of traditional finance. That's a very unpopular opinion. I've been in blockchain for a decade. I'm the biggest maxi in the room. However, I'm not jaded, right? I know what's coming, and I think we got to take what we can in the meantime.
Okay, my opinion, to be able to access to any financial system or any kind of activity that you want to do even on weekend, with much smaller fees, and you can unleash a lot of different capacities for your money. And I think that the narrative of custody is growing, and is going to continue growing. And there is a funny fact that it just happened that the people is not realizing that now the Web2 companies, after all of these banks, they are blowing up. Actually, they have less safety because they have less segregation of funds. Actually, for example, like legally wise, you need to segregate funds. But in Web3, the companies, they are more segregated than in Web2. Because imagine that there is a financial collapse, the Web3 companies, they have part of their assets on-chain. And this, in my opinion, is going to help to the narrative of why to blockchain and DeFi is so important. Because it's a way to segregate funds. And even if there was a hack of Euler Finance very short time ago, I mean, we are very, very, very early, and there are a lot of projects, there are several projects already that they are going to continue to exist, and the code, it will become fully reliable. That's my opinion. Yeah.
So I think first of all, there's a lot of confusion about what we understand by DeFi. Wow, the party is starting, I think. So anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of confusion, first of all, right? So, I mean, we have centralized solutions like Celsius, BlockFi, and so on, which is considered to be DeFi, but they are using DeFi to bring yields to their clients, so they're not DeFi. Then you have outright Ponzi schemes like Lunas, you know, like all the other algos trading, stable coins, which again, you know, from the very beginning it was very obvious that it's just not sustainable as a business model. So again, it's you know, all those things. And then the third thing is like, you have the users of the interfaces, then you have liquidity providers. So it's like, it's really confusing for you know, the typical person. So to make it very simple, what I think we have to differentiate is that there's two major products in DeFi that are now running. All the rest is not working, okay? And the two products are basically the automation of your traditional banking products. So first of all is your currency exchange, right? It's like in your traditional airport, right? When you go in, you want to exchange your dirham to, you know, euros to dollars or whatever. So you know that as a client, you come in there, you want to change one currency to another, the currency exchange will charge you for this, right? And you're okay to pay this fee. But you also understand that every morning somebody has to come in there with a briefcase of those stacks of dirhams and, you know, dollars and euros, right? So that when you come there as a user, those stacks of money can be used for you. So that's why, you know, this automation of a banking product in DeFi is basically the first version of the product. They automated currency exchange basically as a token exchange, taking this business out from centralized exchanges. And that business created a new role, a role of liquidity provider, right? So you can be this man or a person with the virtual case of your tokens that you bring to this exchange, so that whoever touches these coins pays the commission and you get a share of this commission. So that's the whole like business model for this whole thing. So for you, if you want to make money on this, it's really up for you to decide like, hey, do you want to supply dollars, stable coins, or some volatile assets, and so on. So that's why it's very, very, you have to be like understanding what the business model is. So that's one business model. The second one is your traditional lending and deposits, right? So again, a typical banking product. When you make a deposit to a bank, you expect some yield. Now, where does this yield come from? It comes from the bank giving away the credit against some you know, collateral, right? So the same happens here. So people, you know, put deposits. Other people are using lending from those deposits and are paying commissions. So you get a share of those commissions, same product. So only those two products actually generating any form of revenue. And from that, you can get a share if you participate in this field. So to answer your question, of course, products evolve. Different farming models evolve for those who manage assets there. On the client interface, nothing really changes much, except with the regulation apparently, because of course it comes in, you know, saying, hey, you need to verify the clients and so on and so forth. That is a big topic, but the benefits of this system is not in the area where you can make money. The benefits are from the user side, that your money cannot be blocked. You can swap whatever amount you want. You know, you can swap it immediately, you can withdraw it right away, and you hold your currency on your wallet. And that's critical. So I believe that these are just two products that made the whole thing just flip around. And there's going to be more products that are coming in my opinion.
Exciting. And you mentioned users. It's quite interesting, you know, like what happened this past weekend. You know, you had centralized exchanges where people have money, and suddenly, you know, the banks that some of these exchanges bank with, where they keep their dollars that are backing their withdrawals and deposits, was potentially gone. And, you know, I don't know if I speak for others here, but me personally, I started moving many of my assets from a centralized exchange to the, you know, decentralized environment, because then I knew that at least that if the exchange goes bankrupt, my crypto is safe. But the downside with that is that the transaction fees are much higher in the decentralized space. So this morning I made a transaction, a swap on Uniswap, and I paid, I think, about 1% in gas fees and other fees, which is highly inefficient. Do you see this changing in the next you know, year? We can start from over there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all understand the limitations. And apparently, I mean, there is a saying within the industry that Ethereum is for rich people, right? Because the transaction fees are high, the latency is long, and so on. So apparently, whatever is being built right now, of course, with the scaling solutions like 𝐒𝐿, you know, rollups that are now being released, or the layer 2s like Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, it's something that, you know, those are the solutions that are trying to speed up the transactions and lower the cost. The volumes are not there, and if you look at the roadmap of Ethereum, they haven't completed their, you know, their complete roadmap, right? Because the sharding is coming, hopefully this year, and of course it would increase the block space. So in the combination of the you know, the release that they basically rolled out last year and the sharding this year, Shanghai, I think they postponed it till autumn of this year. The overall, let's say, capacity of the network has to increase, thus lowering down the costs. So that's the end game. Of course, we'll have to still get there, and yeah, it's still on the go. So this is one of the points that is definitely not helping the mass market to start using it. But in my opinion, this is actually one of the tiny elements, because the largest element that is stopping like mass adoption is actually not DeFi, it's basically the wallets. Because the critical point is self-storage and self-custody, right? Because it's not common for us to store private keys, you know, in some private space, and without having a capacity to restore, like call somebody and say, hey, I forgot my password, can I get it back?
Okay, in my opinion, everything should come from education in the first layer. But let's say, for example, now Ethereum, some of the rollups, because of the way they pass transactions, as more transactions there are, the fees they can become cheaper. And then also I'm very excited about the stablecoins technology. In my opinion, there is going to be inflation-resistant stablecoins, floating stablecoins, floating value that it depends on the market conditions and so. And there will be very, very specialized ways to use it, basically. And yeah, in my opinion, we need education. So after the education comes, a lot of more volume comes into the market that attracts more attention, that attracts more developers, that attracts more money. In my opinion, yeah, we are quite early technology-wise and market size-wise. Both, we are quite early. I agree with him on the way that, yeah, we need wallets, we need better layer 1s, we need better layer 2s, we need anything. But I think that the people underestimate education, because education is what kick-starts the adoption. And that brings a lot of money, attention, and it really keeps the ball rolling.
Very little education happens in DeFi, right? It's for a subsector of crypto, well, highly technical crypto users, or greedy, money-hungry yield farmers, but that still requires a lot of high-level knowledge. You know, you said something in your last point that I'm not up here, so I have to front the company Mintrist, right? That's our company, and what we did is, what other DeFi platform protocol, apologies, there's many platforms, has been able to capture fees for the good of the token, which is the good of the user? I'm waiting, right? That's what, yes. Right, there you go. So Mintrist, what we do is we capture as much of the fees as we can, redistribute it through the rewards to the user, which drives up the token price. If not, we will buy back our own tokens for that same sake. What happens in the traditional world? What does Instagram do with all your beautiful pictures and your likes? If you're not a creator, they're advertising, right? You're the product. What does eBay do? They skim some off of the transaction of the seller. What are you? You're the product. So you think that you're part of the solution, but you're just another product. In DeFi, it's the same thing. It's been happening over and over again. Who's winning? Maybe you're winning in the first 3-6 months as TVLs are extremely high and the market's good. How about now? Where's Aave? Where's Compound? Now, are they doing poorly? No, they're doing fantastic. They're capturing, I believe, the 4th and 5th highest fees across the board in the crypto markets. They're up in the $500 million now in fees. What did you get out of that? What did you get out of that? You got a dying token value, you got a lowering TVL with lower rates, and yet you're still being, paying the fees. So that's exactly what Mintrist flipped. We're happy about our security, we're all of that stuff so that the Euler situation doesn't happen to us. However, we're able to capture the fees, redistribute them back as rewards, so that as TVL goes up, so that as market cap goes up, so does the token value. That is just quite opposite in some of our competitors. So I think that's something you should keep your eyes open to. How many fees? Ethereum is for rich people, right? He's not wrong. That's no more true than in DeFi, because the EVM compatible tokens are extremely high fees, and that's where Mintrist kind of flipped the game.
Excellent, thank you. So we have 3 minutes left for one question, if there's any comment or question from the audience, or we can do one more speed round. So, is there someone coming?
I think he might be the runner.
Yeah, so one more speed round here. Okay, there's a question. No question? No questions. So 1 minute each. DeFi Anonymous, when you're moving stuff from DeFi into the centralized system, the banks, there are some problems coming up. How do you think the next 2-3 years look like there? Is DeFi going to become limited? Is it going to become like an island to itself? Is it going to be hard to bridge assets from DeFi into the traditional system? 1 minute max. Go from here.
I gave you my banking thoughts. I don't think 2-3 years. I'm from America, right? We have a lot more headaches to hurdle over. Unpopular opinion, but it's necessary that regulations are the only way that these two are going to be able to communicate. One is speaking, Mandarin, the other one's speaking French. And so until that, you can call it interoperability in the metaverse. What does that look like in DeFi? It can only be done with the banks through regulations. Institutions will not jump in. Banks will not jump in, as far as I'm concerned, in the trillions, which we need trillions. We don't need billions.
30 seconds each.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't know, people is overly dramatic. If governments, they really want to go against crypto, they would destroy it long ago. And I'm very excited about zero-knowledge technology. So basically, you can prove that you are compliant without disclosing absolutely any data. So that's my dream in this case.
So I think there's just different levels here. So anonymity and DeFi are not sort of, there's two different things, right? You can be anonymous on DeFi, you can be verified on DeFi, it doesn't really matter. So that's why for me it's like really just like there's no discussion here. It's just different camps and different types of clients and jurisdictions and so on. Now if we talk about DeFi, it's basically the foundational layer for pretty much everything that is going to happen in Web3 and is happening, right? Because when you launch your NFTs, you need liquidity, you need swaps, you need liquidity providers and so on, lending and borrowing against this. Same with GameFi, same with so on. And going back to this, again, if we look at the traditional world, right? The traditional financial system is freaking boring. I mean, like, what's so sexy about it, right? nothing. You know, you have some fund managers, you have some other guys that are just managing money. They all speak the same language, they all say the same words, and like you cannot differentiate among them. So it's the same that is happening in DeFi right now. So yeah, there was like a summer of DeFi summer, right, when everybody learned how to farm, just connecting your MetaMask to Compound Ivy and getting, you know, a few percentage points on your stables or whatever. Apparently the yields drop as the, you know, as the liquidity came in. So what will happen eventually is that your investment strategies start becoming more and more complicated, which means that it all goes to the area of specialized financial people who find products, create more complex products with leverage, market neutral strategies, and so on and so forth. So for the average user, it's going to become the same boring traditional financial business, but now on DeFi.
And that's time. Thank you so much, everyone. Sorry, we're out of time. So
thanks, guys.